What a preseason game. Even though we did lose, it was still great because we had a lot of positives going into this. We are going to talk about that, but first of all, shout out to Spencer Rattler. This back shoulder throw was kind of insane, I can't lie. That basically won them the game, solidified field position. They might have hit the kick regardless. It set them up for this field goal right here, which ended up giving them the lead, and I am a little surprised that we didn't return it. I know it was kicked to the back of the end zone, but for some reason we took a knee. Kind of weird. I thought with a new kickoff we would at least try to make something shake, because all it takes is literally finding one hole and you're out of there. But I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. It's preseason at the end of the day. Let's go ahead and dive into this real quick, because in the beginning of the game, it was anticipated that Marvin Harrison Jr. was going to play and he was going to get some action. Look at him bouncing. He was just doing his thing. He was warming up. We were all ready to see it. He was in for one drive, I think 3 total plays. He walked in just to walk right back out after one drive. The Cardinals did not play him past that. I don't blame him. Keep him healthy for the rest of the season, but it's just funny because I was anticipating at least like 2, 3, 4 drives. 4 drives max, probably somewhere in the 2 to 3 range, but I was so wrong. You got one. So then this offense, I was anticipating a Desmond Ridders Clayton Tune matchup, basically competitive position battle. Who was going to win it? And today was the guy that I thought was going to win it all along, and that is Clayton Tune. He looked pretty dang good. Desmond Ridders, going back to the things that I saw problematic with him, is inaccuracy, hesitation, and just the inability to throw the ball.
Try!
When it comes to running, he is better than Clayton Tune. I understand that completely. Today, he actually had 5 carries for 39 yards, which is 7.8 on average, and he was able to step up in the pocket a couple times, but so was Clayton Tune. When it came to passing the ball, it was pretty atrocious. 4 for 9 passing, 43 total yards, 4.8 an average, and he took 2 sacks with a 59 quarterback rating. Pretty awful performance by Desmond Ridders. It's all the things that I said was going to happen ended up happening. So unfortunate. I mean, it is one game, so Desmond Ridders will have time to bounce back, but Atlanta fans are very accustomed to what happened today. Then we go to Clayton Tune, and he had a much better game than Desmond Ridders. 15 for 24, 163 yards, a touchdown. Also led an insane drive in the beginning. I believe it was his first drive where we scored in under 4.5 minutes, where he was throwing laser beam, just to lead us up to getting a Michael Carter touchdown, who also balled out. I'm gonna show him love in just a second. The guy that I thought should have been running back 4 or 3 had 7 carries today, led the team with 41 total yards, right above Desmond Ridders, finished with a touchdown as well, 5.9 yards a carry. I was surprised to see him that far in the depth chart, so to see him get the most carries on the team was pretty nice. Sorry, the second most carries, because that was led by Trey Benson, who got most of the carries early on. He was actually the lead back for the majority of the game, and he didn't have a fantastic one, but at the same time, he did find a couple holes. He was able to make a couple plays. The line really wasn't holding up, especially for Desmond Ridders, which I will give him props. You know, the Saints were balling out on that aspect. So Desmond Ridders didn't have a clean pocket necessarily. Also, why Trey Benson kind of struggled. He had 8 carries for 21 yards, 2.6 a carry. That is not a great game, but he is a rookie, so I'm literally, this doesn't matter to me. That offensive line, I will admit, was letting the pocket collapse a ton. Way more than you like. You don't want to see that from your first team. We didn't have like any first team players playing. First team defense wasn't out there. So I'm not necessarily worried about it right now. It just needs to get cleaned up. And something else that does need to get cleaned up too is penalties. It was kind of very Cliff Kingsbury-esque, the way that all the flags are flying. I know it's the backups, but you got to be cleaner. I think Jonathan Gannon has this team a lot more disciplined, but you just don't want to see that many penalties from both sides. It was kind of bad. It was a flag fest. But outside of that, offensively, I think we played pretty solid. When it comes to the defense, oh my goodness, this defense looked fantastic. The Saints had their first team out there, and we were strapping things up. Adrian Taylor-Demerson was having himself a fantastic game. He was making play after play after play. He had like a wrap-up tackle in the backfield as well. Like, he was just everywhere on the field, and that's why they call him the rabbit for a reason. The dude is everywhere. He is flying. We got Owen Popo as well, who had a total of 4 tackles, and he was flying. I love our inside linebackers. I'm not gonna lie. Him and Chris Barnes as backups is phenomenal. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Then I will also give shout out to Darren Hall as well, who had 4 tackles today and a pass defense, and he was also flying everywhere. He was making play after play after play. And then on top of that, as much as I like our inside linebackers, our D-line was balling as well. Held the Saints to 101 total rushing yards. It would accumulate to 3.5 on average, which is pretty good for the Cardinals' run defense, holding any team to 3.5 yards per carry. We'll take it. The defense balled out, held this team to only 16 total points. Can't complain there. I know it is preseason, so it's a lot of vanilla offense, vanilla defense. You're just trying to get players accustomed to the system and trying to let them find their spots and find their roles. I'm proud of what the Cardinals did today. And also, Catrell Clark balled out. Starling Thomas was strapping up as well. He looked great. I cannot lie. That is why he is our other outside corner across from Sean Murphy Bunting. The dude looked amazing. And then I also want to shout out Darius Robinson in his limited action. He was feasting, causing havoc, getting pressure, everything you want out of him. He was playing both positions. He was playing inside under center. He was also playing on the outside. Love what I saw from this team. And Jonathan Gannon, I know we lost. Shout out to you. You guys got the team playing the right way. Can't wait to see how we keep building this thing. But the Cardinals now are 0-1. Shout out to the Saints. Spencer Rattler looked pretty solid. Jake Haener also looked pretty solid as well. He finished 9 of 13, 107 yards. None of them had a touchdown, but Spencer Rattler 9 for 17, 70 yards. Led the game-winning drive. Got him in position to win the game. Got to give props where props is due. So shout out to the Saints, man. I think they are going to be a very underrated team going into the season. They got to figure out some things offensively. I'm not a fan of Derek Carr necessarily. He did not have a great game. They just got to let this thing build, and it would be a little concerning because the Cardinals' second team was strapping you guys up, but it's a lot of vanilla offense, so who knows? I wouldn't necessarily be worried right now, but if we're 4 weeks in and you guys still got Derek Carr problems, then you know, it might be time for a swap. With that being said, that is going to wrap up today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, consider hitting that subscribe button. I post Arizona Cardinals and NFL related content, so if you're a fan of either of those, perfect channel for you. Like I said, man, that is all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.